What's going on, everybody? This is the thing we're building the door for. It's kind of a little project of mine that I've been doing. It's kind of a drop ship, but it's got 8 of these things. Might show that off here in a little bit, but we basically need to make this hangar door pretty big. So let's figure out how big. I haven't really done any work on this yet, so it is, looks like 35, so we'll just make it 40. 40 wide. Yeah, start here. You can always paste in later. We want lots of stuff for it, so I kind of already have a gist of what I want to do, but let's just work through it. So this is basically just setting our limits. We need a battery. There we go. It's pretty slow. Set that to 2. There we go. Alright, let's do that. Let's figure out exactly how much we need. I think we want to do some hinges. Basically just want to make it fold, and we'll get the gist of it when we finally get it up here, but need that. Make some nice looking pistons here and here. Which way is that? I think I want it off to the side. Something like that. Need that to go the other way. This will be negative. 1. There we go. So that one's positive. I'll take this out. Oops. There we go. And we'll just keep these hinges the same direction. Like that. Oops. Alright. There's the beginnings. Let's see. How many blocks long do we want this? I know this doesn't look like much yet, but it will. So, yeah, well, call this hinge 1A. I don't know which direction this is supposed to go. 1A. Let's just copy paste that. And that, and that. So, oops, there we go. If we start with that, that should at least get us going on some sort of direction that we want to go. So we'll control it from here, slow that way down. Let's see, hinge, oops, that's labeled wrong. 1A, 1A, 1A. So if we hit reverse, oh, that's not right. Immediately wrong. Let's figure out what's wrong. If we detach this, okay, let's go in the wrong direction. So this is negative 90. That's 0. Reverse. And we'll just do the same thing to this. So attach here, detach here, figure out what this thing wants to do. That's also wrong. So negative 90 and 0. So now this should be right. Attach all that. Let's just make this a group. And there we go. That's what we want to do. So, go to our groups, control from here. Yeah, alright. That's what we want. We also want inertial sensors on. Tensors? Inertia tensors. There you go. We're going to leave this one off. We're going to turn this one on. This one. And these. That should really cut back on our bouncing. Much better. This one's going to be set to 3. Okay. So this is piston horizontal and vertical. We already named those. Let's call this fold. That looks good. Oops. Alright. Let's just use spectator. Alright, we gotta get our groups going. They don't need a group. These do. So, what do we want to go out first? We want vertical is going to be first. And then probably this one. Oops, this isn't the groups. There we go. We'll do that one and the fold. So we're missing one. Horizontal. So it's going to start like that. I also want it to be this way. Fold needs to be way faster. So we'll make that 2. Maybe 3. Hello, Mayor. Okay, we're kind of getting somewhere. We're wiggling. That's not great. I wonder if, well, this is all the way down. So we actually want this flush with our floor. Our floor is going to be up here. Right there, maybe? So, yeah, I think I made a kind of a mistake. We'll fix it. Alright, I'll just do it now. Oops, do that. And we just want to bring this up a little bit higher. So we'll copy paste that. That is the wrong direction. So you get for blind pasting. Let's make this go the right direction. Like that. Now we don't have to go up higher. Purpose for the door. So, it's to basically hide this thing. There's a few people watching now. I could show this thing off. So it's basically just a drop ship. It's got these like cubes in it. And it's going to drop these cubes. And it's going to deploy a welder and make a factory, and it'll build mechs. I know that sounds like a lot, but it'd probably just be easier just to show you. So, here's the drop ship. It's got a cool landing gear animation on it. And inertial tensors, or dampeners would help. So, there we go. That's weird. This should be level. I don't know why it's not. That's already doing weird stuff, isn't it? Well, let's figure out what's going on here. Should be go. Maybe stop. Go. Well, don't know why that is. That's a new thing. Well, I think we're just going to have to turn that off for now. Because, well... Oh, it is level. Okay. I thought it was just, well, it definitely isn't. This is level. I don't know what the heck I'm doing, man. We'll just turn it off for now, because it's not working correctly. So, there we go. Oh boy. This is going to be bad. Turn that back on, because the gyros are doing some weird stuff right now. Alright. Pretty standard for what goes on. Obviously nothing's working correctly, so stop. Gyros. Make sure all these are off. Alright, moving on. So this thing goes up in the air. I don't know if you guys saw the landing gear, but it's basically just going to hover pretty high. And honestly, I haven't checked this in a while. Like a few days probably. So we'll see if this still works. It should just be a one button thing. You basically just press 4 and then it'll drop one of these cubes. So let's give it a shot, see if it works. You know what? I think I need to blueprint this first, because I'm not sure if it's up to date. And if I drop this, then you know, I'll have to reconnect everything. That's basically what the hanger's for, is to keep this thing in place. Bot carrier 2.0? I think that's what I called it. Yes, and it takes forever because it's got a lot going on. I think there's like 4 or 5 different programming blocks, all running a script. Pretty nasty. So once this is done, we'll hit the button and give her a shot. Hopefully it works. So the only thing I do need to figure out is you basically need to recompile when it lands. I need to figure out a workaround about that. But yeah, what's up, Hatformer? Yeah, I don't announce anything. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing. Alright, here we go. So press 4 and one of these should drop. Look at that, it does. Wonderful news. So here it comes. Let's get into my body. And should deploy chutes. There it is, okay. So it just drops this thing. And I am going to have to recompile it. So we'll do that quick. Mother. Recompile. Lovely. It gets past the thing. Hey Alt, how's it going? Alright, here we go. So, once this thing's on the ground, and it's kind of level, you just basically gotta hit this. This bad boy comes out. And it immediately is screwed up. Oh my gosh. What have I done? Oh no. There's definitely supposed to be something... No, maybe not. So, this is supposed to be on right now. Let's see if we can trick it into working. So this is supposed to be welded up. Obviously nothing's working correctly, because that's the way it is. But it should be all survival friendly. So it basically trips up. Auto builds this welder wall by having these welders up top. Everything is piped in. It's all survival friendly. I don't know why that didn't deploy. I'll have to figure that out later. But it builds this little sprue right here. And this is all disconnected, so it's got a few batteries to keep it running. This does work in survival, so that's why it's got such a long waiting period. Yes, lots of clang. And obviously it's not working, so... It does have a really long waiting period. But, you know, in survival it takes a really long time to build this, so that's what this whole wait is for. So it should be like a 30-second wait time, or probably 40-second. This is actually what builds a mech factory. So that this cube deploys into this thing, and then it'll actually make the factory eventually, if it's going to do it. Maybe there's more issues with the script. Oh, there it goes. So it starts coming up very slowly. Obviously this is not running, so something's going on with that. I think it's on the wrong one. But all this starts building. Yeah, everything's mobile. I think it missed this because I started welding later. So, I'm going to let this build for a little bit. It does take 5 minutes or so, so we'll just keep going on the other thing. Alright, what are we building? That's pretty wobbly. Let's make sure we have inertia tensors on. We do. Might just have to just build something off this. Keep it, maybe just force it up. Build something like this. And we'll just push it up like this. That way we can put something underneath this to maybe make it less clangy. Let's see how this thing's doing. Yep, still building. If any of you guys are watching the channel recently, this is the factory I've had on it. But this is the survival friendly, so I don't have any mods installed in this, besides some like visual thruster mods and stuff. But this is all vanilla, and it'll build it all in vanilla. So I'll just continuously do that. Alright, we push this up finally. Still can't get a block under here. Oh, you know why? No, I don't know why, because this is at 5, isn't it? Yeah, I could easily just do that. Let's just put this here. Get rid of this. Don't need that. I could lower this again. Right, that should cut back on the clang. Okay. So we need to figure out where this goes. Uh-oh. That's not great. So we just might have to bring this back to like 4.9. This doesn't like it. 4.8. There we go. So now it's resting up against that. It won't drag everywhere. Alright, this is still building. So all this green stuff is basically the scaffolding to help build everything with one projection. As you can see, like everything's staged above the hinge, and it uses gravity to go down and connect everything. Very, very little pistons in this, but there's a script that runs that actually connects piston heads on this. So it looks complicated. It kind of is, but it'll all make sense when it's finally building. It's getting close to the top here, so we'll keep taking a look there. So this is what we're doing here. Get scatterbrained here. Alright. So we can, that'll come up, which is what we want. And then these two will bring it over. And then for some reason, what is that? The horizontal. Why is the horizontal not working? Horizontal. There we go, reverse. So that'll come in. Okay, cool. I'm gonna continuously check on this to make sure It's not done. It is getting close to the top. So what'll happen is, so this actually doesn't have any resources in it, which is a problem if you want to do it in survival. So all the resources are kept inside this bad boy. It has enough to build all this welder array. It has enough to build this, and then it has enough left in it to build at least a few mechs. Right? Yeah. Complicated is kind of my thing. I like it. But actually it is, it's nearing completion, so we'll just hang out here. It starts to go a little bit faster towards the end because there's not really that much to weld. Oh no, it didn't finish. Jeez, there's all sorts of stuff going wrong on this thing. So that connects. This is already going to screw up because it didn't finish that last part, but there you go. All those drop down, so it gets rid of all the sprues. It tries to grind them up too. Does that for a few seconds. Now everything's dropping in place. Obviously that's not supposed to happen. But here's all the pieces dropping. Like I said, this all works in vanilla. And this is how you basically do multi-grid projections. Pieces fly off. And they go somewhere else. Here we go. Mech Factory. And this was all printed with just a vanilla projector. Plenty of different grids in it. It's not going to work because this wasn't basically made up, and there's no way to really do that. But what's it called? Mech Maker or something like that. This is what it's actually supposed to do, because this is the blueprint for it. Lots of buffering, huh? That stinks. Probably too many people on the internet upstairs. Yeah, that's streaming. I got fiber coming soon, but still don't have it yet. So... okay. Let's see if this works. So that's all the pieces falling off. And this is everything dropping in. Alright. So far so good. Sometimes this has to be really, really level for it to work, but those pieces flew off, so that's good. There we go. Get rid of these big pieces. Alright, so if that works, then we should just be able to hit it. So just hit that, it starts building. Oops, that piece didn't come off, did it? I don't think that's going to be in the way, but... at least this is still working correctly. All the other stuff has some work to do. I'm getting sidetracked again. I should be building a hangar door right now. Oh yeah. Need the fiber. Family really eats up the bandwidth here. There we go. These are the arms. Rotate around. Tries to grind up as many of these little pieces as it can catch. There we go, mech time. Oh, we lost an arm. Yep, well, they can still operate with one arm. We could launch it with this. And I fixed the balance issue, even though it's trying to walk in the completely wrong direction. Why does nothing work when I'm on stream, it seems? Well, this should still work. Yeah, Dread Mechanic really did some cool stuff with this. I think I have to turn this on still. There we go. That'll follow you around. Pretty cool. I like this thing. Alright, you're done. Get rid of this. Try and get rid of some of this lag. All those can stay. Big boy up top can stay. Let's get to this. So, this is kind of what we want. I don't know if I really... I don't want to keep this past here. So, that's kind of the door mechanics. How long is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. So we're going to get rid of this. Turn on mirroring. Try and make it like 5. Yeah, absolutely. I love RTSs, so I'd be totally game with that. I'll make sure these are in the right way. This has got to be a block like that. So just make a hinge here. This has got to be 9 blocks. Well, this would be 8 blocks. Like that. So, this is the beginnings of what we're going to do. Man, this is getting really clangy already. But I want... This will basically be one door, and it'll be sections like this, and there'll probably be about... Well, there'll be one on the other side, and then there'll be probably 5 of these together, and that'll make up our door. And then we'll just wire them all together and make them look nice, and call it good. Let's see, put something like that. So I want this to be completely hidden, so we'll try and put something together like this. And then, let's see, we'll make it this wide. So this will be one section of door. And we'll make it a different color because I don't like the way the sci-fi works. Or a different texture. That looks a little bit better. Or with the inside. Yeah, forget it. We'll just make it all look like that. So, there's that. We'll totally hide that. I think this will work. Let's take a look. So, that's the wrong direction. So, positive is a no bueno. There's that. Alright, cool. It works. Put there. Let's make this a little bit faster. There we go. Something like that. So, here is the ground level, we'll call it. And everything is the wrong... There we go. It's all sci-fi. Let's do another mirror here. Just redo that. There we go. This should be good here. Inside there. We might just have to move this first. So let's give that a shot. Alright. So we can go out. And these two go. Oop, that's not right. Bam. Let's fix that real quick. So the door only needs to go out to here, right? Good to go. this in. We'll mess with that. The idea is it's just going to be sections like this. So it should be, yeah, and then it'll come down. So it'll come flush like that. So this is the ground level here, we'll call it. So everything's going to be flush inside here. And we'll hide that some other way. This will come up here. So the door will look like this, with another section over there. It'll be nice and flat here. And then this will come down. We'll do that. We'll do... I don't think we set this at all. 5. Nope, that's the wrong way, wrong way. So positive is no good. Oh, positive, yeah. Oops. There. Should be negative 90. And this will be this other one. There we go, we fold. Something about this doesn't look right, though. I think that's going to clang like crazy. Yes. I don't think I can have that. So let's make sure we put something here so it doesn't fall off. So keep that. Oh yeah, it's definitely clanging. I have block damage off right now, so that's probably why it doesn't completely kill itself. This definitely needs to be inertial tensor. Cool. We're only going to do this one side now because I'm not completely sold on how this thing is working. Maybe we put a connector here to try and stabilize this. Where can we put a connector? Can't really put it in the middle of the door because we could run something out from like here. And where's our connector? Something like this to stabilize it. Like that, I should say. And then we don't do it no mo. Very stable. We'll see if we can do something like this. Probably we'll be able to. Let's see how that behaves. Alright. Minus that part, that'll be fine. So we need to what? Use this. Use this. Yeah, it catches it right there, so we're going to have to fix that. And then we'll bring it in. Alright, cool. That's just clearing where we wanted it to. So if this folds, that'll basically give us all this area to do stuff in. We'll wire it up here shortly so I don't have to keep doing it manually, but this is just how I build. I build the mechanics first and wire it up after. But this is basically our finished door. I think we need a little bit more power here. Where are we at? There? There? Ooh. I don't want that. So, sometimes you have to shock these things into working. And I don't know which direction it's going now. Or why it's not working. What have I done? On, off. I don't have anything locked. Okay. So there's that shock that I was talking about. Oops, not what I wanted. I want reverse. Okay. So, there we go. I always like to add this on the end of the doors to make sure you don't walk there. So, it'll look a little bit better. This is the hinge we want. We want another one here. So, let's make it, this is the wrong way. Turn off mirroring, make it the right way. Believe that's at the top as well. There we go. So we should just be able to match this. Give it that. Same with this. We should just call this something. We already use fold. We don't have hinge fold, do we? Yeah, we do. That's what this is going to be. I guess it's 1A. This could be 2A. Sure, 2A. or 1B, I should say, because this whole section is going to be 1. And the next one will be 2, and so on and so on. That's our naming conventions that we'll do. And this will be 1C. That's exclamation point C. So we'll copy that, we'll add it here. That's already wrong because it's backwards. Okay. And we want, when I say backwards, I'm just talking about this. For people that don't know, this is the negative direction, that's the positive direction. And since I don't want to mess with a bunch of velocities and everything else differently on each block, we're just going to build it like that. It's a lot easier. Pay attention to your stuff. What pattern am I on right now? That one. We'll just make everything the same. So something like that. Spam click this so it goes in. And then I believe it's these guys. Which direction did we go? Horizontal. So, horizontal. That'll just slide in nicely there. And that'll be our finished kind of door. So let's group everything, and then we'll do an action. I'm curious how I'm going to make that, because this is going to keep getting stuck, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because, yeah, I don't have inertial tensor on there. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see if it works. I need to move this up a little bit so I don't have to keep going in and out. I only want one of them. Get back into spectator. Names. Let's see. 1A, we already have that. So we want 1B. 1B should be all the same. Save. Uh-oh. There we go. C. I think that's all the ones that we messed with. So B is this one. Ooh. I didn't lock that in though. Attach. Now we're good. So it looked like it worked anyways. Maybe just the double strength on the hinges. Maybe just the double strength on the hinges will be fine. This will be fine. So now we can group everything. We should just make everything a group because I'm tired of looking in here. So piston fold, we already got it. What's up, man? Sandman? Piston vert. That's what we'll do next. And horizontal. There we go. Now we got groups for everything. That will work. So groups, we're going to start with the vertical. And then we need the fold. Then we need 1A. And then horizontal. Maybe 1C actually. And then finally horizontal. So if we do this in order, it should, well, we're going to do it backwards in order, I should say. There we go. Look at that. That folds in. And then it's 3 and 4 at the same time. Nope. It's 3 and 2 at the same time. And then finally that. So that's kind of our finished section of the door we want to build. And how am I going to do this? So we're going to cover up this little part here. I think we can do it with this block. So it'll look like it's done. Let's see how that behaves. It's actually pretty stable right now. It's a little vibraty. And the horizontal needs to be kicked in maybe 0.1. So we'll do that. Let's see. Don't clang. Maybe one more. So we'll do 9.8. It's kind of dangerous doing it that way, but I like that. Maybe we could hide the hide the connectors in here. Use these. You can do something like this. I wonder if these will connect to each other. They should. Ready to lock. Look at that. No more vibration. And it looks pretty clean. You put one on each side. So we'll just do that. We don't want it to show, so something like that. Boom. We're going to keep it off now because we're going to actually actuate this. So we have one for this side. This is the thing that we're messing with. Let's float up there. We'll bring it down here. We can kind of see. This thing's going to take forever to paste because it's a beast. Yeah, takes a little bit. But we'll do a dry run and make sure everything works together. Man, the lag. There we go. Landing gear coming out. It's just got a sensor that senses it. But we could land this thing, so not that that really matters. There we go. Boom, now it's on the ground. And get me out of here. But it's just got these cubes. I kind of showed that off earlier. For some reason they didn't work. And here's a big mess of stuff. But I think this should work. We put another one on the other side. We put about 5 of them together. Let's see how long this thing is. See how many we need. Let's start at the antenna and go all the way back. What do we got? We have, it is, with a little bit of room, it needs to be at least 42. Man, I can. And I definitely didn't mean to do that. So not there, and nothing there. Okay. So it's got to be 42. How many doors is that? Simple math. If it's 5 long. Oh wait, what do we got? 7. Okay. 14, 28. So we need what? 6 doors? 6 doors together to make sure everything can go. So the end will be like right here. Oh, I can't have it on that though. So this will be our end. It's gonna be a big door. So should work like that up. These two together. Oh man, that's nasty. I don't like that at all. Nasty. I don't like that at all. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy. I wonder if I fold that first, it'll be better. I wonder if I fold that first, it'll be better. This one I want to be faster. Was it 1A needs to be stronger, so we'll turn up the torque a little bit. Try not to kill this thing. Ooh, it immediately doesn't like it. So we're gonna put that back. That's already looking a little bit more fluid with the hinges. More fluid with the hinges. You do need to change. You do need to change the axis. So just bring that up one, bring that up one. Same with this and this. I think we're gonna have to lock hinges after we move it too. That'll probably help on all the wobbling. Because if I do this, yep, no more vibrating. So we can do that. It's vibrating. So we can do that. So instead of bringing that up, we'll fold this first. So it'll come up like that. Oh no, that immediately won't work. I'm gonna put like one of these in here, and then one of these. Come on. There we go. And not one of those. Keep that. So we're going to move back on. Programming block. We'll set it to this. So don't need that. Well, otherwise, run, open door. There we go. Confirm. So 7 should open it, but it doesn't. And I know why, because I didn't set that correctly. Caught an exception. Okay, cool. This needs to be -3. Recompile. Still having issues, man. I should have definitely figured this out before I got on today. Let's try and figure out why it's doing this, and then if this all fails, then I'll just go back to timer blocks. It's definitely my fault. It's not anything to do with the script. You go back to custom data. I think I'm screwing something up. Maybe I added this and then it didn't work. So let's give this a shot. Yeah, it is that. Command not found. Let's take a look at why that is. Something up. So, just looking on the internet real quick because I want to see what I'm doing incorrectly here. Promise next time I'll look this stuff up before. Man, my internet is just terrible right now. Let's get back while that loads. Okay, so I'm using the wrong convention. It should be all lowercase and what goes on here? Because that, okay. Well, that would be why. -60, also strange. And 86, very weird.